Hello everyone, this is BREANNA Rutter, author of the book The Natural Hair Bible and founder of HowToBlackHair.com. And I will be teaching you in this tutorial my very new hairstyle called Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kink Twists. My style is vastly different from traditional kinky twists because the takedown literally takes a couple of minutes rather than hours. With traditional kinky twists, as you may know, you have to braid and twist individual sections of hair and then curl the ends to achieve your final look. But when it's time to take down your kinky twist, it's very time consuming because you have to do so individually, one at a time. With the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist, all you have to do is add your kinky twist onto your crochet braid pattern. Then when it's time to take down your hair, all you have to do is take down your braid pattern, which releases all of your kinky twist, literally taking minutes. And then also additionally, we will be placing kinky twists around the perimeter of our head to help complete the finished look. The following materials you will need to do my new hairstyle will be 5 packages of Marley braiding hair. You will also need a little bit of braiding hair to help braid your braids, a wide tooth comb for detangling your hair, a rat tail comb for parting your hair, duck bill clips to keep your hair sectioned. You will also need a needle and weaving thread to help sew down your braid. You will need a plastic hair beater to add hair onto your braid pattern. You will need hair cutting scissors. And then for curling the ends, you will need a large t-shirt or dry towel. You will also need perm rods and a cup of hot water. Then additionally for styling, you will need a couple of bobby pins to do so. Once you have all of your hair supplies ready, in the very next step, step number 2, I will show you how to do the braid pattern for the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. Welcome to step number 2 of Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. In this step, I will be showing you how to do the braid pattern for this hairstyle. To begin, you want to take your rat tail comb and section the perimeter of your head about 2 to 3 inches wide. This will serve as the hair that will be braided individually for your kinky twist. And then for more of the hair that's left inward on your head, you will be braiding all of that hair straight to the back in cornrow braids. I will show you how easy it is to link each individual corn braid into one another so that when all of your hair is braided, you only have one braid that hangs down. That braid will then be tucked right against the last cornrow braid, and then you will use your needle and thread to sew it down very flatly onto your braid pattern base. With this style, a couple of things you already have to know to achieve the look. You have to know how to braid kinky twists as well as how to do actual cornrow braids. All of this information, such as the Kink Twist DVD and the Cornrow Braiding DVD, can be found on HowToBlackHair.com. So we will go on to doing our braid pattern as I show you how to prepare your hair for this hairstyle. Okay, so now the very first thing we're going to do is take our rat tail comb and begin parting about 2 to 3 inches of hair from the perimeter of our hairline. So this hair that you're parting here is what is going to be used to do traditional kinky twists. You just want to have just a little bit of hair so you can braid about 2 to 3 kinky twists at the perimeter of your hairline. And you're simply going to make sure you part pretty even around, and you're going to use about that much hair. So about this much of your section is what you're going to need to leave all the way around the perimeter of your head. Once you do that, you're then going to braid your edges or your perimeter hair into one continuous braid, so that way it doesn't get mixed in with the hair that's here at the middle of your head. You can use duck bill clips to keep the hair contained, just like that, or you can braid it. But once you do that, then the hair that's in the middle of your head will be braided straight to the back in cornrow braids, because that's gonna be your crochet braid pattern. So just continue to use your comb and part around the perimeter of your head to do the first step. So once you've parted your hair for your perimeter kinky twist, as you can see, I've braided the braid in a continuous circle. If you can't braid in a continuous circle, then use duckbill clips to keep your hair sectioned. Once your perimeter area has been sectioned off, now you're gonna braid the rest of your hair straight back into cornrow braids. So I'm just gonna remove the clip here that helped preserve my hair, and then I'm just gonna use the end of my rat tail comb to part a cornrow braid here. Naturally, the braids on the edges will be just a little bit shorter because you're braiding straight to the back. And you want the braids on the edge to be a little bit shorter just because when you're finished with your style, it helps that the kinky twists are laying more naturally rather than starting each cornrow braid right here at the top of your head. Allow your cornrow braids to gradually get bigger as you go up and then start to get smaller as you go down on the sides. So for the first braid, I've already parted my section. And then you want to use your duckbill clips to help keep your hair sectioned as you're braiding. And then you're just going to braid straight to the back. Once you finish braiding your first braid, you go on to braid your second braid. And then you take the tail end of your first braid to braid into your second. And I will show you exactly how that looks. But for now, just focus on braiding your hair straight to the back in cornrow braids. To complete your braid pattern, I've left one braid undone so I can show you how when you braid your braids, you're going to continue to connect each cornrow into another, so that when you completely finish, you only have one braid that hangs down that you would need to sew down onto your braid pattern. So momentarily, I also wanted to stop to explain why you would need braiding hair. In step number one of the supplies was to use a little bit of braiding hair to help you braid your braids. The braiding hair is perfect if you have thinning hair, thinning edges, or short hair. No matter if your hair is relaxed, transitioning, or natural, braiding hair makes your braids stronger, and it also helps to preserve weak or thinning hair. So on my hair, I did not need to use braiding hair. I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't need the extra bulk onto my braids to give me that security. But if you have shorter hair, or you're afraid that your braids will become fuzzy over time underneath your install, or if you have thinning hair, I highly suggest that you use braiding hair to add onto your real hair. So next I'm going to show you how to continue connecting your cornrow braids, and then how to sew your last braid down to complete your braid pattern base. So now I'm going to braid the very last cornrow braid, show you how to connect it to your final braid, and then how to secure that braid down to your braid pattern. So as you can see, I have hair here from my last cornrow braid, and I have one braid here even though I have multiple braids on my head. The reason why is because every time you braid a braid, you're going to connect it to this big braid, which continues on and leaves only one braid. And I'm going to show you exactly how that's done right now. So what I'm going to do is braid this cornrow braid and connect it here. So in the end result, I will have one final braid. If you want detailed instructions on how to cornrow braid with or without extensions, I highly suggest that you go to howtoblackhair.com to purchase the braiding DVD. So for now, I'm just going through braiding just to show you exactly how it's done when you're connecting each cornrow braid. You want to make sure to braid all of your real hair on this part, and then once you've done that, you're going to take your final braid and add it in as if it's additional hair, and just continue braiding. Once you braid all the way down to the ends, I'm going to show you how to use your needle and thread to secure your braids before you begin actually doing your style. So now I'm going to take my braid and I'm going to tuck it in between the space of my last cornrow braid and the previous one, right here in the space, just like that. And I'm going to start my first stitch here at the very bottom of both of the braids on my cornrow braid and my loose braid. So now I'm just going to grab my needle and thread that I've prepared, and I'm going to go underneath both braids. Pull through, and then I'm going to do my knotting technique. So once you locate your string, you want to open your string up. Then you want to go around with your needle once, twice, and pull through to create your first knot. Once again, go under both braids. Grab your string and do my same knotting technique once, twice, and pull through. Continue on until you've sewn the braid flat down against your head. So now just coil your last bit of hair here, just to make sure it's very tight and secure. Place it firmly flat down against your braid and sew your last stitch. So now the last thing you're going to do is cut your thread and your braid is finished. If it sticks up just a little bit, you don't have to worry about it because as the style progresses, you will not see any thread or any knots on your hair. Once you finish the base of your braid pattern and unraveled your perimeter braid, this is how your braid pattern will look for the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twists. So now that your braid pattern is complete, in the next step, step number 3, I will teach you how to install your extensions step by step. Here we are in step number 3 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist hairstyle. In this step, I will teach you how to add hair extensions onto your hair step by step. So we already have our braid pattern braided and now we have our loose perimeter hair ready as well. We're going to start by braiding individual kinky twists along the perimeter of our head. And then once you're finished, I will show you how to crochet your kinky twist onto your braid pattern. So as you can see, I've already made plenty of progress. I'm almost finished braiding all of my hair, but I'm going to show you step by step how to braid your perimeter kinky twist and then also how to crochet the kinky twist onto your braid pattern. So to begin, I will demonstrate on one small area how to braid. So first, you're going to use your duckbill clip and your rat tail comb to help section the piece of hair you'll be working on. So next what you're going to do is you're going to reach to your table and you're going to grab 2 pieces of marley hair. Now this is the original piece that you will be working on, but you want to make sure to split this piece into 2. So when you split this piece into 2, these are what your pieces will look like. So now I'm just going to grab 2 to 3 pieces, which I will grab 3, and I'm going to begin braiding. So now I'm going to show you how you're going to position this hair in your hands, and if you already have previous knowledge about doing kinky twists, this will be very easy for you. So very briefly, I will show you exactly how you want to position the hair. You have 3 pieces of hair here and you want to grab 1 piece so that you have a 1/3 and 2/3 section of hair. Grab the piece that's by itself and you're going to wrap it around the 2 pieces of hair, just like that. With your dominant hand, use your thumb, index, and middle finger to hold the hair very closely to where they cross. Now use your other hand, insert your index, and wrap the rest of your fingers around. This is how your fingers will be positioned. Now turn this hand under and insert your index finger, pinching that small amount. And now you can begin braiding. So we're going to go up to our scalp and we're going to grab all of our hair here and pinch it between our index finger and our thumb. So once you grab that hair with all your fingers, you're going to continue braiding. So you're going to grab this piece here with your other hand. You're going to turn your dominant hand, insert your index finger through, and continue braiding your kinky twists. Just like that. Just turn your hand, insert your index, and grab the section of hair. And you're going to do this just a couple of times so that you can actually begin twisting. So you know you've braided down far enough if you let go of your braid and it doesn't unravel, as you can see here. Now at this point, what you want to do is locate that middle section. You want to cross these two pieces in the middle, just so you don't have that gap right at the beginning of your braid. Pull both sides very firmly and just begin two-strand twisting. You're just going to rotate one section of hair over the other, and you're going to do this all the way down to the very bottom. This is exactly how you do a kinky twist. And if you need more in-depth step-by-step instructions on how to do a kinky twist from start to finish, I highly suggest that you check out howtoblackhair.com for the Kink Twist DVD. You're just overlapping one piece over another as you near all the way down to the very bottom. Once you braid down to the very bottom, you're going to release and finish kinky twisting the rest of your hair on the edges. So now after I finish this twist, I'm going to show you how to crochet your hair onto your crochet braid pattern. So now we're at the point where I have braided my kinky twist around the perimeter of my head. So as you can see here, I filled in all the area of hair that was unbraided, and now my perimeter is completely finished. Now I'm going to show you how to crochet your hair onto your braid pattern. So as you can see, I'm pretty much almost done. I just have a few more kinky twists to add, and I'm going to add two. So I'm going to add one here, and then I'm going to add one close to the beginning of my braid. Make sure when you're crocheting your kinky twist, you're doing so at the very start of your braid so there's not a gap between your perimeter kinky twist and your actual braid pattern itself. So first I'm going to add one here, and then I'm going to add one here. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your hair sectioned. And as you're adding your kinky twist, you only need 2 pieces of hair. You need about 3 pieces to add kinky twist onto the perimeter, but you only need about 2 pieces to put them onto your braids. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your beater and you're going to add your beater directly underneath your braid. So I'm going to place that right here, and use your finger to guide the beater straight up through, just like that. And that's the beauty of this plastic hair beater, is that it is super flexible, so that way it's not tugging and pulling against your hair like a metal beater would. With a plastic beater, you can move it with ease. So I'm just going to push that straight through, and this is where I'm going to put the hair through to form the kinky twist. So you're going to go and you're going to grab your 2 pieces of hair, and as you can see, I've already sectioned 2 amounts of hair for both kinky twists. And I'm going to grab this piece first. So you're going to locate the very middle of that strand of hair. Make sure you're pinching it very well together, and use your hands to turn it, just to make a very tight wind of hair here, so that way you can insert it through the beater hole or the beater eye. So we're going to go back up, and this is where we're going to insert our piece of hair that we've gathered very tightly. So you're just going to put that through the opening, just like that. Make sure all the hair is in there. And now the very next thing you're going to do is very simple. You're going to grab the beater and just slide it through your braid. Just like so. And the end comes right back out. Take your beater off. Make sure you grab both pieces of hair, open it up, insert the rest of the hair through the opening, and just pull through very securely, making sure to use your fingers to lay it very flat against your braid. Now you're gonna do this once again. So once again, I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. You're gonna grab this beater and you're gonna put it directly underneath your braid. Now, as I noted, you have to get very close to the beginning of this braid, and you don't have to worry about the pieces being close together because this takes up a lot of bulk. So you're just gonna grab your beater and insert it right at the beginning of your braid, right here. Just like that. Use your finger to guide the beater straight up. Grab your section of hair. Locate the middle. Make sure it's very smooth down so you can gather all the hairs. And then you just need to just twist it a little bit so you can have a very nice grip on both sections. Put it through the opening of your beater. Just like that. Slide your beater underneath the braid. And you can press on your braid to help sliding a little more easier. Take the beater off. And if you get a little bit of hair on it, just pull it off. So now you're going to grab both sections of your hair there. Grab your hair, make sure you only grab the section you're working on. Open and put the hair through and then just pull down. Press it against your braid so it's very firm. So as you can see, both of these will be your kinky twist. And now we're just going to 2-strand twist each section down to the very bottom. Just like so. If one of your legs is starting to get shorter, like you see here, all you have to do is take a little bit of hair from one side and then continue twisting. Once you do the same thing to the other section of hair, your kinky twist will be complete. In this step of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist, I taught you the techniques that you need to follow to installing your braids. Just to preview, you want to make sure that you kinky twist the edges or the perimeter of your head and then crochet your kinky twist onto your braid pattern. And of course, if you need step-by-step thorough instructions on how to kinky twist from start to finish, I highly suggest that you visit howtoblackhair.com for the Kink Twist DVD. So after you've braided the perimeter, you were to crochet the hair onto your braid pattern. And remember, when you crochet the hair, you have to twist from the top all the way to the bottom. But when you add kinky twist onto your edges, you have to braid first and then 2-strand twist to the ends. So now that you know how to do the technique and you've completely installed your kinky twist, in the very next step, step number 4, I will teach you how to seal the ends of your kinky twist extensions. Welcome to step number 4 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. And in this step, I will be teaching you how to seal curl the ends of your kinky twist. So the materials that you will need to do so will be your t-shirt or dry towel. You will need a cup of hot water, a couple of perm rods, and you will need your hair cutting scissors to assist you. So once you have all of your materials set and ready on your table, you're going to begin by first rolling your kinky twist into your perm rods. So depending on the size of your kinky twist, you're going to use anywhere between 2 to 4 twists per perm rod. You want to make sure that you have enough on your rod instead of too few. So what I'm going to do is grab about 3 of my twists, because I want to make sure that it's not too bulky as I roll it onto the perm rod. This is a good size. So now what I'm going to do is smooth the twist down, and I'm going to locate close to the very end of all of those twists. Now you're going to grab your perm rod. Allow your plunger to hang down, and you're going to wrap that hair close to your plunger, just like this. And you're going to just roll the tail in around the plunger. Excuse me, around the perm rod. Once you do that, hold the end down with your finger or your thumb of the end of your twist, and then roll the perm rod against your kinky twist, making sure it's very flat. The moment it becomes a little bit too tight to roll to where it can lay very flat down, you've gone far enough, and you're just gonna grab your plunger and insert it on the opposite end of your perm rod. So you have one finished here, and I'm gonna show you an example how to do one more. So I'm gonna grab 3 more twists, roll down to almost the very end, grab my next perm rod, let the plunger hang down, and just wrap the ends around the perm rod. Just the ends. Once you do that, hold the very end down. Roll the rest of your kinky twist onto your perm rod. And then take your plunger and put it on the opposite end. So now, just for example, I'm going to also show you how you want to seal the ends. Now, you want to be extremely careful when you're dealing with hot water, because it's potentially harmful, and if you spill it, it could burn your skin or harm you. So take full responsibility if you are going to be using hot water to curl the ends of your twist. As a safety precaution, you want to make sure that you have your dry towel or your t-shirt directly in front of you, because if at any time your water spills or hot water drips from your twist, you have your shirt or towel here to catch any water. So to begin, what I'm going to do is carefully move this cup of extremely hot water very close to me. And make sure to use a cup or a bowl that has a handle that does not get hot or is affected by the temperature of the water. So that way, if you need to quickly move it or just shift it around your table area, the handle is very cool to touch. So now the very first thing I'm going to do is make sure that this towel is right here in front of me so I can grab it. I'm going to grab my 2 sections that I rolled here, and I'm going to dip them in one by one. If you decide to roll all of your kinky twists into your perm rods, make sure that you're only inserting into the cup of water 1 perm rod at a time. So that way you're not having too many in here, which could result in a massive mess or spill. So now I'm just going to insert one and the other. You want to make sure they're fully submerged, and also you're just going to wiggle them around just a little bit to release any air bubbles so that it can fully saturate the ends. And you only need it in there for about less than a minute. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my shirt. You want to do this first before you raise your head out of the water. You raise your head out of the water directly over the cup, and you're going to wrap the shirt right around the perm rod so that way you're never in contact with any hot water. Then you're going to squeeze any water out of your perm rods as it absorbs into your shirt or into your towel. And now you're just going to open your shirt up just a little bit to check to see if it's any water dripping whatsoever. So I'm going to squeeze just a little bit more. There's no water dripping, and now I'm going to unravel each perm rod. So just focus on one at a time. You're going to take the plunger off, and you're going to simply unravel the hair from your actual perm rod to keep the curl in place. Rake your fingers through your hair very gently. And if you notice any scraggly ends, just use your scissors to snip the very ends of the twist. And then go on to the next one. Rake your fingers through very gently, and then trim off any ends. So you're just going to continue this thing throughout your entire head until all of your kinky twists have been curled at the very ends. So now that I have shown you how to actually curl the ends of your kinky twist, you of course are going to repeat the same thing over your entire head until all of your curls are complete. Now, in the next step, step number 5, I will teach you some hair care tips for maintaining your new hairstyle. Welcome to step number 5 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist hairstyle. In this step, I will be teaching you 3 helpful hair care tips that's going to help you to maintain the look and health of your hair. The very first tip that I'm going to suggest is that you want to make sure to keep your scalp and hair cleansed and moisturized. A clean scalp and clean hair will prevent product buildup as well as dandruff. And by keeping your scalp and hair moisturized, this is going to prevent your scalp from being dry and itchy as well as prevent breakage with your real hair. In order to do so by incorporating products that will help you to take care of your hair, you want to use the same products that you use when your hair is not having extensions as you are while your hair has extensions. So the same products that you normally use, such as your shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, or even an oil of choice, you're going to use these same products to help preserve the health of your hair. In order to incorporate these products, you have to bring them down to a watery consistency so that you can effectively wash and moisturize your hair without leaving behind product. So for using an applicator bottle, you want to put a little bit of each product into each individual bottle and then add water to bring them all to a watery consistency so that you can effectively use your products. The reason why you don't want to just use your products at the consistency that they already are is because when you're adding them onto your hair, you have to constantly use water to rinse them out so that you don't leave behind any products. And with this style, it brings so much ease with washing and moisturizing and conditioning your hair because most of your extensions are onto cornrow braids. And when you're getting in on your scalp and on your hair and you're adding products and you're massaging any type of buildup or any dandruff out of your hair whatsoever, your braids aren't going to go anywhere because they're secured onto your cornrow braids. But with your perimeter braids, you want to take the extra steps to be very cautious when using product to cleanse your hair and scalp. And also when you're doing so, you can bound your hair into multiple braids or ponytails so that you can work on one section at a time to thoroughly get the job done. The second tip that's going to help you to maintain the health of your hair and your extensions is that you want to make sure to thoroughly dry your hair. So if you're shampooing or conditioning or adding a very watery consistency moisturizer to your hair, you want to make sure that it's dry before going throughout your day or just simply forgetting about it. And the reason why is because if you have excess moisture or water on your hair scalp, it's a breeding ground for bacteria, especially fungus. And I know it's maybe not as widely known, but there are plenty of women who've made the mistake of not thoroughly drying their twists or braids or weaves, and then they smell a funny odor. That's because you have to get the moisture out of your hair. So one way to do it, of course, is to let it air dry, if that's effective for you. If not, then I suggest that you invest into getting a hooded dryer to sit under and allow your hair to thoroughly dry. Or something that's a little bit more affordable than a hooded dryer is a bonnet dryer. You can purchase a flexible bonnet that has a hose on the end, and with that hose you can plug in your blow dryer and allow the air to circulate around your hair and scalp to effectively dry your hair. The third and last helpful hair care tip that I'm going to suggest to you to help to maintain your hairstyle for as long as you hope for is that when you're going to bed, it's very important that you wear a silk scarf or a silk bonnet. The reason why is because this is the best material to wear around your hair because number one, it limits the friction that's placed on your hairline. And when you're sleeping, you're tossing and turning and you don't want extra friction, rub it against your edges or your braids because that can make your hair pop out of your braids and that can also cause damage or breakage along your hairline if you're not wearing a silk scarf or silk bonnet. If you notice that your scarf sometimes comes off during your sleep, then I suggest that you try the silk bonnet instead so that it can stay put on your hair. If you've ever been in a habit of wearing a cotton scarf to bed or sleeping on your cotton pillows, I highly suggest that you stop doing so because this causes breakage along your hairline. Cotton is very absorbent and it causes a lot of friction, and that's not good for maintaining the health of your hair or your style. So make sure you're wearing a silk scarf or silk bonnet to bed when you are trying to preserve the look and health of your hair. So that's it. I've given you 3 helpful hair care tips that's going to maintain the health of your hair as well as the health of your hairstyle. Make sure you're using the same products to care for your hair. Make sure you're thoroughly drying your hair and kinky twist. And also when you're sleeping, use a silk material such as a silk scarf or silk bonnet to do so. Now, in the very next step, step number 6, I will show you the finished results to the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist hairstyle. Here we are in step number 6, the finished results to the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. Enjoy my very new style. So there you have it, the finished result to the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. In the very next step, step number 7, I will be teaching you 3 very easy hairstyles to do with your new look. Welcome to step number 7 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist hairstyle. In this step, I will be teaching you 3 very simple ways to style your new look. One style will involve a double bun, another will be a half up, half down updo, and then the last will be a twisted bang hairstyle. The very first hairstyle that I'm going to show you involves 2 buns. You want to take a large square section of hair at the top of your head and put that into a bun with bobby pins. And then you're going to take the rest of your hair and put that into another bun with bobby pins. So here you have it, style number 1. So now that style number 1 is complete, next is style number 2. The second hairstyle that I'm going to teach you is a half up, half down updo. You're simply going to take a small section of hair and form a small hump or a small pompadour and use bobby pins to pin in place. And then you're going to overlap hair on both sides of the hump until you have half of your hair up and half of your hair down. And now here I present to you style number 2. Now that I've shown you style number 2, next is style number 3. For hairstyle number 3, I will be showing you a twisted bang look. All you have to do is gather all of your kinky twists in the bang area, simply twist the hair together, and then pin in place with bobby pins. So last but certainly not least, style number 3. So now you have 3 easy ways to style your new look. In the next step, step number 8, I will be teaching you how to take down and remove the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist. Welcome to step number 8 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kinky Twist hairstyle. In this step, I will be teaching you how to remove your kinky twist extensions. In order to do so, you're only going to need a couple of materials. You're going to need your hair cutting scissors and a wide tooth comb to assist you. To remove your hair extensions, I'm going to first show you how to take down your perimeter kinky twist. So for example, I'm going to take down this twist here. And there's 2 ways you can take your twist down. You can unravel all the way by hand from the bottom all the way to the top, or you can cut the extension where you think is past your real hair. I suggest you take it down by hand if you're not sure exactly where your real hair falls, but to make the process faster, you can actually cut the twist. But if you want to keep this hair, I suggest that you don't cut. For example, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to cut the hair and unravel by hand. So my hair is somewhere up here, probably a little bit past the braid, but I'm going to cut about double that length. So instead of cutting here, I'm going to cut here where my thumb is. So I'm just going to take my scissors, cut where my thumb is, and unravel by hand. So now that I've shown you how to take down your perimeter kinky twist, I will then show you how you're going to take down your kinky twist once you're on your crochet braid pattern. So now I will show you how to take down your kinky twist extensions from your crochet braid pattern. So as you can see, I've taken all of my hair and moved it to one side so I can expose the kinky twists that are attached to my last cornrow braid. If you can recall from step number 2, I showed you how to sew down your last braid of your real hair onto your last cornrow braid. So we have to remove all of these kinky twists to be able to take down by hand each cornrow braid. And first, I'm going to show you a couple of other ways you can remove these extensions as well. So what you can do to remove this braid is you can cut the braid right above the knot, and then you can take out the little piece of hair that's left behind. Do this if you don't mind cutting the hair. But if you want to keep the hair, I suggest that you just unloop the knot to pull the kinky twist out. So you do not have to take down any of these kinky twists by hand by unraveling them. So first, I will show you how to take it down by cutting. So now all you have to do is locate your twist. Make sure you cut above the knot, so I'm going to cut right here. And then all you got to do is use your fingers to take off that piece of hair. Very easy and simple. So now what I'm going to show you is how to take it down another way by simply unlooping your kinky twist. So remember, you do not have to take down this entire kinky twist by unraveling the twist itself. All you have to do is locate your knot, open it up, and then you just pull your kinky twist through. So now, just continue to unravel the rest of your kinky twist on your last braid by either taking it out by sliding out the knot itself or cutting your twist. So I'm just going to cut the rest of the twist and then show you how to continue taking down the rest of your crochet braids. So now that I've taken down all of the Kink Twist extensions that was on the last cornrow braid, I'm going to snip off all of the pieces of thread very carefully. So on this part, make sure you're using mirrors to see exactly what you're cutting with your scissors. So after you cut off all of your thread, I will show you how by unraveling your braids, it will release the rest of your Kink Twist extensions. So now I've already carefully cut my thread off from my last cornrow braid to begin taking down my braid. So as I lift up my section of hair here, you can see that I have hair that I've already taken down. Now when I've done that, it exposed the rest of my cornrow braid, because remember, we connected all of our braids. So as you can see, this is the tail end of the braid, which of course connects to this very next one. So I'm going to show you the beauty of this hairstyle is that as soon as you unravel one cornrow braid, you can continue to unravel all of your cornrow braids since they're all connected. And right now I'm going to show you right before your eyes how by taking down my cornrow braid, I'm going to release this entire row of Kink Twists. So as you can see with this style, you no longer have to take down your Kink Twist by hand. And naturally, since all of our braids connected, you have the braid here, and then you can take down your next row. So continue on by unraveling each braid to release all of your Kink Twist extensions. So that's it for step number 8 of the Mrs. Rutters Perimeter Crochet Kink Twist hairstyle. As you can see, the beauty of this new hairstyle that I've created allows for you to take down your Kink Twist with ease, because all you have to do is unravel your cornrow braids to do so. So you don't have to worry about taking down your twist by hand any longer, or any braids slipping out whatsoever, since they're secured onto your braids. So as you unravel your cornrow braids, all the rest of the extensions will come out as well. So for more on videos, blogs, and to check out our online store, go to howtoblackhair.com for more. Thanks for watching.